Today I had the pleasure and the privilege of being in the building today for a debate between the state's attorney's candidates. And it was how do they say it? It was a barn burner. It was very intense at times. And, I would say that it was personal in nature at times. This, going into election season here in Baltimore, in Maryland, the June 26th is the time where it goes down. Okay. And, so as time is ticking away, you're going to see a lot of the candidates coming out, and they're going to be coming to your church. They're going to be coming to your place of employment. They're going to be knocking on your door. They're going to be doing all these type of things because they need and desire to get your vote. And, that rubs some people the wrong way because they feel like candidates only come around when they need something, right? And, that's something that I've seen from a lot of politicians. But I guess the playing devil's advocate, you could say, okay, I'm busy doing the business of the people, so that's why I can't be around all the time. But of course, you can contact my office, and somebody will get back to you. A lot of politicians have that type of vibe, and I understand where frustration comes from as it relates to other people and how they feel about that. But as I said, today was the day for the state's attorneys candidates to square off face-to-face on the stage at University of Baltimore's Law School auditorium. The event was hosted by WJZ and the Baltimore Sun. So shout out to them for allowing other media to be in the building. And, it was heated at times. It got personal at times. I don't know. This is not. It doesn't have to be this way. I don't know whether or not all the people involved like each other, and when that's the case, you get interesting things to happen. You get sparks to flying. They had Marilyn Mosby in the center, and they had Through on one side and Ivan Bates on the other side. So Mosby was aggressive. She was feisty, and she didn't pull any punches. She called the gentlemen, her opponents, liars at one point in time, stating that the facts were wrong, the numbers were wrong. She didn't know where they got the numbers from. I've been talking about this ever since I attended the event earlier today, and I think she suffers from the same challenge that Hillary Clinton suffered from, which is sexism, right? People hating on her because she's a strong woman, right? I think that especially early on in Hillary Clinton's career, this is something that she had to deal with. Some people subscribe to the mentality that a woman's supposed to be a certain way, and a strong woman, they have an issue with that. So I think that is something that Mrs. Mosby has had to deal with, and she doesn't shy away from that. She is the daughter of a police officer. She comes off to me like that. I think she could be a police officer herself. She has that type of growl. She reminds me of a black version of Ronda Rousey in the frown. You know what I mean? The frown that she makes. But she's serious, and she means business. And I think that she feels that she has a lot more things to do. So, of course, an obvious question that I knew was going to come up came up. and that was the handling of the Freddie Gray case. Would she handle it any different? Would she do anything different? She boldly said no. She would not do anything any different. She would do everything the same way. That's what our current state's attorney said, Marilyn Mosby. She said that she would not do anything different. So she said that, of course, it was unfortunate that Freddie Gray died in the hands of the police, in the custody of the police, and that she fought hard for Freddie Gray. She also said that many reforms came about because of the fight that she put out in regards to this particular case, this infamous 2015 case that really put Baltimore on the national conversation. She said that she wouldn't do that differently, and she also said that Freddie Gray was wrongly arrested. She said that he made eye contact with the police, and that they began to chase him. He ran. He was thrown in the car, in the back of the squad car. His pleas for medical attention were not met. She said a lot of things that I hadn't heard her say about this case. So that was interesting. Another thing that really a reoccurring thing was the experience factor. So the gentlemen that are running through and Mr. Bates both said that she doesn't have the experience that they have in the courtroom, and she owned that, and she said that's true. She didn't have that, but she said that experience in the courtroom did not equate to ability to run the state's attorney's office, and that's something that she's been doing for the last 3.5 years, and she wants to continue to do that. So that's what she said. There were a lot of things levied at each candidate levied different things at the other one. Through was levying charges of the bail industry and the cash bonds and that kind of stuff, and he was throwing that at Miss Mosby, kind of questioning her ethics. And she fought back about that, but that was definitely something that was coming at him. Also, Mr. Bates, he was talking to things from the standpoint of, and this is definitely something that he echoed when I had a conversation with him, which is, do you feel safer now as opposed to prior to Miss Mosby coming in office? I think that that's what it's going to come down to, who you're going to vote for. I think that these are three talented lawyers, and they all have the best interest of Baltimore at heart. But it comes down to, who do you subscribe to? Who do you believe is going to do the things that they say that they're going to do? Is 3.5 years enough time, going on 4 years, enough time for Marilyn Mosby to have impacted a change? I don't think that it is. I think that you need a little bit more time. Now, are you so unhappy that you're ready to just give somebody else control? That is up to you. Of course, you cast your votes. You need to get out and vote June 26th if you're here in Baltimore. Last thing I want to say before I close out is that there was an outburst at one point in time during the closing remarks. Marilyn Mosby, there was an outburst, and the person had to be removed from the room by the police. And Marilyn Mosby, this was during her closing remarks, Marilyn Mosby bounced back very easily, I thought, and she said that repeat offenders and the families of repeat offenders don't like her because she does her job. And they allowed her more time to continue her closing remarks. So a very strong showing. I would say that I was leaning more towards Ivan Bates winning the debate, but he got the crowd reaction. I don't know if that was because he had a lot of supporters in the room or what it was, but he had a strong showing, as did Miss Mosby. And Theroux came across as a very capable attorney. I just don't know if he has the level of aggression and charisma that Mr. Bates and Miss Mosby have. But of course, it is in the hands of the people. So you got to get out there and vote. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Very exciting times that we're living in here in Baltimore. I will be back tomorrow.